lot of good things. And then the last 20%, we did a lot of poor things. Offensively, we did an excellent job in the first half, moving the basketball, and then our defense totally broke down. We fouled too much, we got beat too much, and the reason you're fouling is you're getting beat, and you have to force rotations. So the defense has a long way to go, but we have very few shot blockers. Ramon hasn't practiced with us, so he really doesn't know what he's doing. But I thought Paul did a good job. I thought Kevin did a good job, JJ did a good job. But it's just defensively that it's got to be a culture of defense. And tonight, we won the game with offense, but that culture is not going to win many games the way we play defense. So it's just going to take some time in practice. We've only been together about 8 or 9 days now. Ramon's been with us 2 or 3 days. It's really important that with Lewis, because he's a pretty good player, that we get him in shape. So far, we got 7 pounds off of him. Our goal is to get another 7, and we'll bring him into Louisville early, and you won't recognize him when I get done with him. Probably be anorexic, but you won't recognize him.
Hello. Today, I think, as Coach said before, we as a team have to work on our defense. You know, like you said, the offense was pretty well for our first time being together. You know, as a team with the ADs and Ramon coming late. But I think the main thing we have to do is continue to work on defense and practice all, as a unit, not just individually. And like you said, cut down on the fouls. And I think once we all come together and get what he's trying to implicate and tell us what to do, I think we'll be a much better team, a good conditioned team, and I think we'll be ready for any opponent that we play against. But as you said before, we just got to get better in defense and cut down the fouls, and then we take that away, and we'd be a good team. So I think that was just a learning experience for all of us, and we just watch film and see what we have to work on better as a unit.
This is a decades-old rivalry. Seemed like an easy victory, and then it turned to an adventure. But we've seen this movie many times before. The Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, it's always a tight game. How do you like your new players, your younger players? Which one? I was pretty impressed with, for instance, with Gary Brown, the way he conducted the game. Can you?
Yeah, I think Gary's had some really good practices. Paul, he was playing 2-guard, which gives us really good length. But because we're shallow at the 3, we're shallow at the 5, guys are trying to learn it. I put in a lot. I put in 2-3 different presses. I put in a matchup zone. I put in switching man. So the guys are trying to absorb as much as they can. Exhibition games are to find out who can play and who can't play. It's nice to win, but it really is meaningless. You're trying to figure out who can play and who can't. Obviously, I thought Paul and Kevin stuck out in my mind. We all know what JJ can do. And they showed me a lot. But like I said yesterday, the biggest disappointment is I'm coaching this team, and we're working very hard. And then I'm going to take a whole new team for the national team. Maybe 4 of these guys will make the team. And then we got to start coaching all over again. So there's very little continuity and very little time. So we're going to have to cram a lot.
Coach, Javi Gonzalez, I understand he was cut today.
He wasn't cut. He never practiced but 1 day. And it would be unfair to him and more unfair to the guys that practiced for a week. So, and the same thing with the other fellow.
Franklin, he's hurt. So.
He practiced 1 day. So we got to go with what we have. And I'm looking for 4 guys, maybe 5 guys from this team to make the national team. Certainly we want to win in Pan Am games, but that's not what our ultimate goal is to win, but I need to find out who's going to be on the national team.
But obviously these are the 12 that are going to Toronto.
Yes.
Good evening. Yeah, you spoke about you were not entirely happy with the defense. Do you think it's more an issue of them not getting the multiple schemes, as you mentioned, or lack of intensity? What exactly would you...
Well, you don't have a shot blocker, so if you get beat, you don't have a shot blocker back there. So you got to really contain the basketball, really contain it. And we got beat a lot. we'd like to give up less than 15 times in the paint defensively for the game. And they were in the paint at halftime 16 times.
Yeah.
Now, the good thing is we were in the paint 21 times. Very active with our hands. Our passing was very disappointing. I don't know what Kevin was doing throwing that pass at the end of the game. I told him, I'm going to call Bill Self as soon as this game ends.
Pregunta adicional.
Yeah, I have for Paul. Coach Julio Toro gave you a lot of confidence with Quebradillas this year. Can you tell us about it?
Well, playing for Coach Toro was a great experience for me because coming, wanting to play for him was, a learning experience as far as what he wanted, with practicing every day and implementing systems to us and having confidence in me, to play the best that I could play, which gave me motivation for the whole season. So in a way, he helped me a lot to get to where I'm trying to get by giving me a chance to prove that I can play at this level. When people may have thought that maybe I can't, but I give him a lot of credit, for helping me out. And this season in the BSN, all I tried to do was just play my role for where he needed me, with the imports and playing as a native, just to do the best I could do, not for myself but for the team. So I think he helped me a lot, and that helped me grow to get to here and to play for here, that is not just for self, but Puerto Rico first. So I think that's what helped me this season to get to get here.
That's great. You say that you want to identify 4 players.
4 or 5 players, yes.
All right. That means you have 7 or 8 already in your mind, and that.
Well, I got JJ and Larry, obviously. I've got Peter John and Ricky Sanchez. I got Will Marquez, the 5 or 6. I think Lewis, we're going to need a big, if I get him in shape. I look at him. Certainly, Paul's going to have a great shot at making the team. Kevin's going to have a great shot at making the team. But we got to see him play. I learned a lot tonight about what they can do. Good thing about Paul is he can play multiple positions. He can play 2, he can play 3. He's quick. He's very anxious to score. And we did a lot of good things offensively tonight. And we'll get better defensively.
La última pregunta, nos dice el primero.
It was your first game finally 5 years later. How do you feel about that?
That's right.
Well, I guess after 8 years in the pros and 750 wins in college, it felt good to get my first national win.
Termina la primera hora. ¿No? Pues finalizamos por la noche hoy. Muchas gracias.
Thank you.